Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another ship with me video, and I just got back from Hawaii, so I should be feeling super rested, but I am not. Unfortunately, I caught a little bug on the way there or the week before or something, so I am recovering, so I apologize in advance that I sound a little congested, but I do have a few things to ship out, so let's get started with that. The first item is this really pretty cocktail ring, and it is gold plated with these pink like CZ stones and clear CZs. This has been listed quite a while. I did have it in my death pile, and I hadn't listed it because I thought that it was just a plain cocktail ring. But then I was going through kind of listing some random stuff, and I looked it up, and it did have a maker's mark on it, and that the brand happened to be a pretty good brand. So I went ahead and listed it, and it sold for $49, which I am thrilled. Let's see, I didn't have any cost of goods on this. It was given to me. So after Posh fees, that made my earnings $39.20. I'm pretty happy with that. The next item is another item that took a little while to sell, but sat in my death pile forever before that because it was kind of flawed. You see there it's missing one of the coils, and I think it needed a new clasp put on, and I finally did that. This ended up selling for $55. So two things that were sitting in my death pile that just needed to be, you know, researched and spruced up a little bit, and that comes out to almost $100 in profit from two little things. So like I said, this sold for $55. I paid about $3 for it, so that made my profit $41. I'm thrilled with that for something that was somewhat imperfect. I do love those sterling silver coil bracelets. I've had necklaces and bracelets before that, and they usually sell for pretty great prices, but because that one was missing one of the coils, I guess that's why it took a little bit longer to sell, and maybe for a little less. The next item wasn't the greatest buy on my part. It is just this down puffer jacket, and it is, there's the brand name. And this is something that I bought on one of those days when I was on a thrift high. I think this is the day that I found a Versace piece at the Goodwill. And so I was, you know, super jazzed about that. And everything seemed really good. And I thought I looked this brand up, but then I got back home or finally got to list it, and I didn't find any great comps. Anyways, it ended up selling for $25, and I bought it at the end of last winter, so it did take a little while to sell, but it was, you know, pretty much out of season when I listed it. I paid $9 for it. Probably not something that I should have paid up for, but I did, and it sold, and I still made a profit of $11, so that's just fine. Some of these things that I am moving out for smaller profits, I'm just happy that I am getting that much for it and not having to, you know, try and sell it at my yard sale and only make $3 on it or lose money. And, you know, of course, I could donate some things, and I will likely do that after we have our yard sale, which we were supposed to have last summer, and we didn't end up doing it. Hopefully, we have time to do it this summer. So, the next item that sold is a pretty great sale. This sold on Chairish, and it is this pair of copper bookends, and they're shaped like cactuses, as you can see. These did have... Let's see, did they have a signature on them? No, they didn't, but there's some sort of mark, but I can't read it. I used Google Lens to look these up, and it turns out that these were pretty desirable, and they sold for $215. plus a $5 packaging fee for a total of $220. That is super exciting. These were listed maybe 6 or 8 months. I paid $6 for these at an estate sale. So that made my profit $166.70. I'm super excited about that. These are sales from while I was gone. So for 6 days, those are the only sales I had. I did have my Poshmark closet closed until Tuesday, and I opened it back up. And then I got one sale, and I just let her know that I would ship it today on Saturday. It's December 14th, and she was very nice about it. And then I had those other couple of sales in the last couple of days, so I thought it was fine just to ship them out today. My Chairish closet is still on vacation mode until Monday, but you can still get sales on Chairish, and it just tells them that you'll be shipping it on a certain date. I really did not do much of anything work-wise when I was on vacation, which is the whole point. So I didn't have very many sales, but that's okay. We did have a really wonderful time, and I may talk about that more as I ship more things out in this video, and I'll probably add some pictures to the end of this video, but I also hit up a Goodwill while I was there, and I found a couple pretty exciting things. I was pretty surprised. It was a very quick trip, and I was about to leave, and then I found these things. I almost wasn't going to make a video out of it because I just didn't have much time, and I wasn't finding anything really good. I didn't think you guys would think it was very exciting. Anyways, I'll do that, and then I'll also add some more footage of our trip to that video. So don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell this week. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Monday, and I've got some pretty exciting sales to ship out. So I had a couple more sales on Chairish, which is where most of the exciting stuff came from. So the first item is this vintage wicker plant stand. Isn't that super cool? I really liked the way the base was kind of tulip shaped. Very nice condition. This sold quite quickly. Less than a month. I think maybe only 2 weeks even, which is kind of unusual for me on Chairish. It ended up selling for $279 plus a $25 packaging fee, so a total of $304. I feel like I had this priced at $329, but you can set a reserve price on Chairish, so I think the $279 was my reserve price. So I'm guessing that the buyer made an offer and it was within that $279, and so they just accepted it. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I'm thrilled with that sale price because it sold so quickly and because I only paid $5 for this at an estate sale. So that made my profit $237.62. That is excellent. If we could just have $200 profits on every item, that would be super exciting. The next item that sold is this really cool Ikebana. Now I can't remember how you pronounce it. It's spelled Ikebana, and it's the type of vase. It has this floral frog, and so you would just put sparse little stems here to create a floral bouquet. This is green adventurine. As you can see, it's a natural stone, really beautiful. I also picked this up at an estate sale, and this was also listed only around 2 weeks before it sold for $134. I had it priced at $129 plus a $5 packaging fee, and it sold for full price. I had also paid $5 for this at an estate sale, so that made my profit $100.62. I'm so excited about having those quick, high profit sales. Okay, and then one more thing sold on Chairish, and it was just this pair of vintage silver-plated tongs. I'm sorry you can't see these very well. It's kind of late in the day, and so I have to use my ring light, but they're really ornately decorated, really pretty design. I don't normally pick up things like this, but they came in a bag of other silverware that I picked up, and I thought that they were nicely decorated enough to list them. And these are pastry tongs. They sold for $50 plus a $1 packaging fee, so $51. I paid less than $1 for these because, like I said, they were in a bag. So that made my profit $39. These took a little while to sell, 6 months or so. But, you know, for a $1 investment, I am happy to move them out. I'm going to package all this up off camera. Okay, I also had a couple more sales on Poshmark. And the first item is just this sterling silver anklet, really simple piece, just kind of an oval link. This ended up selling for $20. I had it listed for more, but it had been listed a really long time. And so I sent out 30% off offers when I got back from vacation. And I think the buyer on this, or the offer on this item was $24 and the buyer counter offered $20. I didn't think that this was, you know, anything super amazing or special, and so I just accepted that $20. I wanted to, you know, get some momentum going in my closet, and I only paid about $1 for this, so that made my profit $15. The next sale is actually pretty exciting. It is another one of these Hawaiian dresses, and a couple of weeks ago I sold one that I got at the same estate sale. I got 3 of them. This is a maxi length kind of psychedelic print, and I use that word psychedelic, colorful. It has velvet stitching on the side here. I do believe that this was a homemade piece, and like I said, a couple weeks ago, yeah, I think it was a couple weeks ago that I sold the other one. Another reseller had already been in this closet, and she took all of the more like contemporary clothing, and she left these vintage Hawaiian dresses, which I was thrilled about because I love this sort of thing. And it sold for full price for $119. It did have a couple little like split seams, so just where the seam had come like undone basically, but nothing that couldn't be pretty easily repaired. I just didn't take the time to do it, and you know, I think it's actually still wearable the way it is, but it would take a couple of minutes to stitch it up. I only paid $1 a piece for these Hawaiian dresses at that estate sale. You know what? In fact, I got these at the same estate sale that I got that Ikebana vase. And is that right? Yes, yeah, it is. So this has only been listed a couple of weeks as well. And when I went to that sale, I really didn't feel like I found anything that great, but I mean, this is going to be over $200 in profit from that already. So my profit on this item was $94.20. So keep your eyes out for these vintage Hawaiian dresses. They are not all created equal. I have another one listed that has been listed for over 2 years. People really seem to like the more psychedelic, really hippie 60s prints that are vibrant like this. Those seem to be the ones that sell quicker and for higher dollar amounts. One thing too, when you are selling vintage clothing, I always like to include a picture of the zipper, because the style of the zipper can indicate the era of the dress. And I don't know all about it, but it seems like some zippers are more desirable than others. Anyways, I just think it's a good thing, so that if it is a collector or a well-informed vintage buyer, they will be able to discern more about the piece from the zipper. Okay, so the next item that sold is this vintage, or somewhat vintage, Woolrich vest. This has been listed for more than a year, And I just picked it up because I thought it was cute with this detail. Sometimes I do really well with Woolrich pieces and sometimes I don't. Typically it's the more vintage pieces or the more true vintage pieces that I do better with. And this ended up selling for $28. So that's just fine. I just wish it wouldn't have taken so long to sell. Maybe I had it priced too high to begin with. I don't remember what I priced it at to begin with, but $28 seems, you know, kind of like a more appropriate price for something like this. I think maybe I listed it for $49 even to begin with. Anyways, c'est la vie, it is gone. I paid up for this a little bit. I paid $6 for it. So that made my profit $16.40. This was, I got this at the grand opening of our new Goodwill location. And so I was definitely on a thrift high when I bought this. And so sometimes that can kind of skew my judgment on what I should be buying and how much I should be paying for it. Did I say that made my profit $16.40? Not wonderful, not terrible, I'll take it. And then this next item is just a pair of gingham, black and white, Zara. They're kind of pedal pushers, cigarette leg, cropped pants. And this isn't something I would normally pick up, but I was at a fill the bag kind of fundraiser type sale, and these look like a more current style. I bought them in the summer, but really only 2 or 3 months ago. So, and the prices were really cheap. So I picked them up. They ended up selling for $24. I paid less than $1 for them because I just made a pile. I asked her at first kind of like what the pricing was like, and she said really cheap. But it was a fundraiser, and I made a pile. I don't know, there had been 20 pieces in there, and then she said $2 for all of it. And I was like, no. So I think I ended up giving her a 20, so it made my cost of goods about $1 per item. But this has turned out to be an okay haul because I've already sold 2 or 3 pieces. So that made my profit $15.22. I'm really excited to have these pretty good sales coming back from vacation because there was quite a few days last week where I didn't have any sales. And we definitely spent quite a bit of money going to Hawaii and being there. We did cut some corners with drinks. So we brought those double-walled drink containers that keep them cold. And so when we would go down to the pool, we would just bring our own drinks. And amazingly, they let us do that. So we went to Target and got beer, and I got LaCroix and vodka, and we just mix it up in there and take it down. And that saved us a lot of money because the drinks, like the fun fruity drinks, the blended drinks, were almost $20 a piece at the hotel. So that is crazy. And then, you know, we got some snacks for the hotel room to just try and cut corners where we could, but we also went out to some really fancy dinners, and I'll include some pictures of the food and stuff. I'll just put it at the end of this video. I'm probably going to put it in another video too. Okay, that is all for today, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to ship one more time this week. I am having my surgery on Thursday. I don't know what I was thinking, trying to go on vacation, come back for a couple of days, and then have surgery, but I guess I just wanted to get it all done. So I would love all of your positive thoughts, prayers, good vibes, whatever you believe in. Send them my way, that I have a smooth surgery and easy recovery. And I may later tell you what the surgery is. I'm just a little nervous about it, and so I don't want to go into a whole bunch of detail. All right, thank you guys so much, and I'll be back shortly to share what else I sell. Hey again, it is Wednesday, and I have a super, super exciting sale to share with you. Fingers crossed it goes through because the buyer made me an offer, I accepted, and then he sent me a message asking if I could ship it so he gets it by Christmas. It is over $500, so it has to go to Poshmark first. So there is a chance that he will get it before Christmas, but no guarantee. So I just let him know that I would ship today, which is the same day he bought it. So here it is. It is this stunning vintage Native American belt. It's all sterling silver, and it is signed on the back with the artist's mark. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but this is just an absolutely stunning piece. So much amazing detail. I'll show you here. It is very, very heavy too, very nicely made. It sold, did I tell you? Did I already say it? I can't remember. It sold for $975. I am over the moon. This did take a long time to sell. I got this during COVID. So I think actually at the beginning, this was an estate sale. Well, it wasn't even a sale. My dad had just sold a rental property with a real estate agent. This real estate agent was selling this mansion, and it was a huge estate, and they were having to clean out the house, and no estate sale companies would do anything. None of the thrift stores would take anything. So she knew that I did this for a living, and she called me in and asked me if I wanted to come in and look and buy stuff. Let me tell you, there was fabulous stuff there. I got a lot of stuff, but beautiful furniture, and I'm afraid that a lot of it just went to the landfill that wasn't sold or taken by family. So I only ended up paying $5 for this belt. At the time, I had no idea what it was. The person that was in charge of the estate just told me $5 per piece for the items. And I just grabbed belts. I had no idea. I'd never purchased a Native American belt like this before. So I thought it was nice, but I thought it could be like Ralph Lauren or something like that. There was a lot of that type of thing. But this is a home run. I did have it priced a lot higher. I think I started it out at like $14.95, and then when I started sending out 30 and 40% off offers, I raised the price up to like $2,000, and this guy offered me $975, which I am thrilled with. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $775. I am going to finish packaging this up off camera just to make sure that I get it really safely packaged. So let me move that out of the way. So keep your eyes out for those concho belts. You may be able to find them at an estate sale or a thrift store that they missed and they didn't know what it was. So the other items aren't near as exciting, but I am happy nonetheless. So the next item is just this sterling silver Silpata bracelet. This came from that estate sale where I spent $890, and it ended up selling for $40. Some Silpata pieces can be worth even more than this, but I don't think this was a particularly rare or coveted piece. I did have it priced a little bit higher, and the buyer offered me $40. It's been listed a little while, so I just decided to go ahead and accept that. So I paid about $3 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $29. The ribbon that I have out does not match this box, so I may just skip the ribbon on this one. But I'm excited to move that out, and it turned out to be a really great week, which is such a relief. Because I will have my closet off for, I don't know, at least 5 days after my surgery, and it just kind of depends on how I heal up to see when I'll be, well enough to ship again. So the next item is this Cotopaxi, just a t-shirt. I thought it was cute. I know that this brand is pretty trendy, and that's why I picked it up. The time I picked it up, I didn't really think through what the retail would be on this before I bought it. But I still ended up making a decent profit on it. So it sold for $24. I paid about $4 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15.20. I think this was, again, one of those days where I was finding other good stuff and I got excited, got on a thrift high. It's kind of the story of my life. And, you know, was thinking that this was better than it was. But, you know, 15 bucks is 15 bucks. And it was a really cute shirt. Also, I was thinking when I bought it that if it didn't sell, I would keep it because it was a size medium. But apparently either this style of shirt or this brand runs small, because this fit like a small or smaller. It was very slim fit. And so it's not something that I would want to wear. It was just too tight for me. So super exciting week. My total sales for the week were $2,068. I think it's been a little while since I have surpassed $2,000 in sales in a week. I am so thankful and relieved to have that those sales. My total cost of goods to sell over $2,000 worth of items was $52. That is absolutely outstanding and amazing. I wish we all could have weeks like that every week. And my total profit after any website fees, cost of goods, and any shipping discounts was $1,593.16, which exceeded my weekly profit goal. I think this video will come out on Christmas Day. So if it's before, after, or on the day, I hope you guys all have a very wonderful, happy, Merry Christmas with your friends, family, by yourself, however you choose to celebrate. And if this is a difficult time of year for you, I am sending hugs and loves to you. I know that this can be really hard for people who are alone or who have experienced loss and don't have people around that they wish they did. So just know you're not alone. There's other people that struggle. You know, sending you love and wishing you a wonderful new year. Thank you guys all so very much for your support all of this time that I've been putting out videos. It means so much to me, and you guys really are the reason that I keep going. Thank you, and I will see you guys all again soon.
That's what I was saying.